Yeah, I'm cis, cute in skirts. Disclaimer though, you don't have to be cis or trans or even really a woman to be cute in skirts. Like, a lot of people can look cute in skirts. That being said, if you feel particularly cute in skirts and you were assigned male at birth, it might mean that you are in fact not cis. Maybe you are, maybe you're just a fanboy, but it might mean you're not. Hello BabyQueers and welcome back to my channel. I meant to do this video a while ago, but I skipped the video because I was at a concert. It's a whole thing. But anyways, we're doing the wholesome, the cute egg IRL now. But you know the deal, before we continue, y'all gotta get hydrated. So grab some water, or some tea, whatever else you like to drink, and then we'll continue. Do you have your drink? Okay, let's go. My cis ass. The sudden and overwhelming urge to become pregnant. Can't relate, because I was assigned female at birth, and the idea of becoming pregnant was always terrifying and disgusting to me. Like, I don't find pregnant people disgusting, but the idea of me being pregnant was always just no. Really just no. But you know, again, it might just like be telling you things about yourself, and I think you should probably listen. So my egg cracked 3 to 4 months ago, and I plan to come out on my 15th birthday, aka my quinceañero, which will be my quinceañera after I'm out with my family and friends in February. But I am losing patience. Mood? Like, if it was December, I could say, oh, it's like only 2 months. Those 2 months will pass so quickly. But considering that it's still October, I feel your struggle. Because, like, whether this is the thing that happens, that you plan to do it at a certain time, or whether you like chicken out and then you know you're only gonna see the other person in like a month or longer, it's kind of a struggle. But to be fair, wouldn't it be smart to come out before so they can actually plan it? Like, do they plan it a little bit differently if it's a quinceañera? Because if you do it at the event itself, it might catch everyone a bit off guard. But you know, if you get too impatient, you can tell them beforehand either way. Please, sexy tomboy voice. Voice training. Not girly, only tomboy. I mean, I think you can still train it. You know, with voice training, like, you don't have to voice train to have like a super girly voice. You can, but you don't have to. Like, you can train so it's like more comfortable to speak a little bit higher than you maybe currently do. But that doesn't mean you have to talk super feminine. You know what I mean? Like, I get not wanting to voice train. I think I would honestly be too lazy, but you could still do it in a way to get more of a tomboyish voice versus like super girly. If you want to. She's a new Pokemon trainer. Set her on the right path, would you? Do y'all ever get that cis feeling of wanting to be called by the other gender and get really happy seeing a character in a game refer to you as the other gender? It's a very egg feeling. It's a very still cis though kind of feeling. Because I kind of get that. But then again, I am trans. If I get that, that is not a very cis sign. You know what I mean? Using a name close to my dead name? Nah. Using the name I had in my dream when I was 7. That is very random. I stole my name from a TV show. Well, at first, I was gonna name myself something different, because I go by Casey. because I love it, and that's what I wanted my legal name to be. It isn't, but I wanted it to be. So I basically really just ended up Googling unisex names and picking out a few and seeing which ones I like best, and Casey just won. And then my actual legal name, because now I just use it as like an abbreviation, was chosen a little differently. I don't know where the second name came from, really. I think I also just like went through names that start with a C. And then for the K, I stole it from a character in a TV show I was super obsessed with at that time. So, you know, however you end up choosing your name is actually fine, but this one, choosing like a childhood dream or name you had in a childhood dream, that's kind of funny. I will admit, like choosing it from a character you like or a song or a band seems kind of basic. It's fair, but it's still kind of basic. You did something fun and I appreciate it. My coworker is joking around with me. Which K-pop demon hunter do you think you would be? Probably the one with purple hair. The one character whose story is very queer-coded and extremely relatable to trans people. Closeted me. Oh, you mean Rumi? Do they know my inner paranoid trans me? They do not know. I love that this is at Closeted Crisis, because whether trans or like a different flavor of queer, I think every closeted queer person has had moments like this where someone makes a comment or a joke and it seems like they know, but they really don't. They're just joking around. And you're just internally panicking and hoping it doesn't show on your face. You know, but yeah. And in related news, I don't know if it's just Germany, I kind of feel like it isn't, but like shortly after Halloween, it's actually like coming to cinemas as a sing-along version, and we actually have tickets, and then we get home and then we do a Halloween party afterwards, which seems very fair and very queer somehow. You know, so if it's also like coming to cinemas near you, maybe steal that idea and do the same thing. A guy has a gigantic cake. Trans woman, little cupcake. A cis woman has a piece of cake. This isn't okay. You're right. You're not a woman. You're a man. You're erasing me. I mean, you could focus on that. You could focus on like the group of people that has less rights than you. But I kind of get a feeling you shouldn't, you know, because that's just like a dickhead thing to do. Like, instead of focusing on uplifting groups of people who will in turn uplift you, you decide to put down the one group of people that's already kind of on the ground. That's cool, dude. That's really cool. I'm glad you're focusing on the important things. Levels of pain. Being slapped hurts a little. Being kicked in the balls hurts a lot. Childbirth hurts a lot. But there's one thing that hurts more. Not having boobs. And again, I don't wish I could relate. Because for me it was like the opposite of like the pain of having boobs and constantly like being aware that either like people can see your boobs or having to bind so people can't, and then just like feeling weird because some random coworker like touched your chest because he was like gesturing while talking and he like tapped it as a bro move, and you're just panicking because binders obviously feel different than like normal chest. I'm telling you, it's just the amount of times you think about it a day, the amount of energy that goes to being dysphoric is absolutely insane. Really absolutely insane. Like I am constantly exhausted now, right? I almost have no energy to do anything. Imagining having dysphoria again on top of that, and just like having to spend so much of my energy on making sure it's not visible, I feel bad for y'all, really, and not in a condescending way, just that I feel with you because I know what that's like kind of way. My grandma, when I tell her the COVID vaccine made me trans. I kind of get it though. Like, I kind of get joking like this. And seeing who believes you. Like, because if you make this joke in your bubble, really, they're just gonna laugh along and just be like, ah, yeah, same. You know, I used to be straight. Like, it's funny, but then making it around people who will actually, like, maybe kind of believe you might even be funnier because you can just, like, see them believing you, and it's just ridiculous, of course, but I kind of get it. Like, if you realized you were trans during COVID, and then, like, got the vaccine and then come out to people because the timing just matched up, please make this joke. Please tell people it wasn't the vaccine. And say you've heard it from a lot of people, that it happens at different, like, time rates, you know, that it doesn't happen in the same time frame, and watch people panic, because what if I happen to be trans at some point? Please do it. Really, please just do it. I was, like, long out by the time COVID hit, and I was, like, transitioning. I had top surgery in 2020. So, on my behalf, please, if the timing matches for you, please make this joke. I just accidentally eavesdropped on my parents talking about my trans brother. My family is visiting a family friend, and after my parents started drinking, they started gossiping about me, a closeted trans femme, and my brother, our trans man. And they called my brother a delusional gay tomboy, and now I feel like I'm never gonna come out to them. Please help, what do I do or say? You're not dependent. Well, if you are dependent on them, it might be a little bit more difficult, because for your safety and well-being, because they seem like the kind of passive-aggressive people that would constantly bring it up. Like, they wouldn't kick you out maybe, but they would just, like, constantly kind of harass you about it. So if you don't need to come out to them, maybe hold off. But if you're not dependent on them at all, then I kind of feel like you should come out to them. Because why not? Just to piss them off, to just be like, ha, you don't have one trans child, you have two. Because I think you should do that, you know, but it kind of really depends on your situation. Meet my younger self. Do you recognize who I am? My younger self. That can't be. I'm a boy and you're a girl. Are you though? Are you? How many times at that age have you already thought about it? That something doesn't feel right, that you don't feel comfortable in your body, or that it just feels wrong when people call you your name or call you, like, by certain pronouns. How many times? Because I didn't count. And because I was already really, like, awkward around other people, I didn't think too much of it for a while, you know, because I was like, well, I'm sure it's all just, like, one thing, right? I'm sure it's just because I'm, like, awkward and that's why I feel weird. And I don't know, I just don't like my name, you know, I don't have to like every name, you know, it might be better with a different name. You know, like, the denial might have been a lot stronger in your case. I was just confused. I was really, really just confused. But yeah, well, I think younger me would definitely be not relieved, but maybe relieved to just be like, oh, actually that makes sense. Like, actually that kind of tracks. Right, that kind of makes sense. I feel like that's kind of the reaction I would get. Going to the men's bathroom because I finally pass enough. Yes! Actually being in the men's bathroom. Can't recommend. Really, really can't. Like, in high school, I was there to go into, like, the boys' bathroom. And I did, and it was like fine. Like I went in a place where there was like literally no one else in there apart from me. And it was like fine, it wasn't that regularly used because we weren't supposed to be upstairs during like break time, so no one really used it. So it was fine, right? That was my first experience with men's bathroom. That was okay. But it went downhill from there because I've never been like assaulted or anything, but the amount of weird stares or comments I get because I'm not tall and because I'm kind of effeminate is insane. And also the smell. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Really can't recommend. Like, it's great that you pass, and obviously you don't want to make women feel uncomfortable, so you're using the men's bathroom, but really can't recommend. Gaming recommendation. If you like being a girl in a dream, you should try being a girl in real life. Because playing games and setting your character as a girl, fine. But also if you do that constantly as a way of escaping reality because you're not a girl in real life, then you might actually be a girl in real life and you might want to do something about that, you know? Like grow your hair out or get a cute dress because skirt goes spinny. Find one with pockets, though. My friends saying I'm cool for not conforming to feminine standards. Me, who doesn't have a choice. Like, what do you want me to do about it? Like, I can't even tell if a trans man or a trans woman posted this. Like, are you a closeted trans man and you're just like so uncomfortable with presenting super feminine that you don't really have a choice? Or are you a trans woman and you just feel like some of your features aren't that feminine and that's why you don't have a choice? I'm confused. Either way, whether or not it's by choice, I still think it's cool. Person sees a dress. Okay, let's put it on. Wait, I feel super cute. Wait, what does that mean? What does that mean? Do I need to have a think about this? Because I kind of feel like you do. I kind of feel like you already know, really, but you do look super cute. You know? And honestly, if either you actually have split eye, because I honestly love split eye, I always wanted to do split eye. I have like hair this short right now, it would literally not work. Like, it would look kind of weird. But honestly, split eye looks super cool. And if you have this kind of split eye, I think you look probably even better. Me, I'm gonna wear cute dresses and shave my legs. Cis people, there is something wrong with you. Because you don't have the right razor. Let me recommend one that's good for your skin. Should be how this conversation continues, but just saying, oh no, there's something wrong with you, that's weird, that's disgusting, is not it. You know, that's really just not it. But honestly, if you want to wear cute dresses and shave your legs, go ahead. I don't want to shave my legs because it's exhausting. Like, I like the feeling of having shaved legs, but it's just so much work. So, if you want to, you can. Some people might think it's weird or that there is something wrong with you, but the good thing is you don't have to listen to those people. Yesterday, I went full girl mode and put on a skirt. It felt good. Too good. It felt right and it felt normal. But now I'm in boy mode. I hate how normal and euphoric it made me feel. I don't think you really hate how good it felt. I think you hate that you can't always feel like that because you have to go back to boy mode because you're not out to people or because you can't safely go out. You know, that's usually more the problem. Like, I didn't hate binding because it made me feel gender euphoria. I hated it because it was kind of uncomfortable. And it felt like I shouldn't have to, you know? And I'm just kind of hoping that one day you can feel like that every day. You know, to just wear the clothes that actually make you feel good about yourself. You know? if you think you're not trans, say, I am assigned gender at birth and I want to stay assigned gender at birth. Look yourself in the eyes in the mirror and say it. Like, that's probably harder. Like, if you say it just like randomly facing a wall or something, or out a window, and making yourself say it out loud, it's already gonna be hard enough. But if you look yourself in the eyes in the mirror, you know you're lying. You know you're lying. Like, if you're cis, you're gonna be able to say there's no problem, because yeah, well, if you are a man or a woman and you're comfortable with that because you actually are cis, then you're gonna have no problem saying this, you know? Me defending the concept of cisgender bottom dysphoria. My trans friend wondering how an eggshell can ever be that thick. How do you do it? How do you not recognize anything? Like, I think like being insecure about your genitals, sure, is a thing for probably a lot of cis people. But that's very different than like actual bottom dysphoria. You know? That's very different. And I think in most cases, like women saying, oh, I wish I had a dick because then I could pee standing up and I wouldn't have to use gross public toilets, also isn't the same as bottom dysphoria, because yeah, it would be practical, but they don't go to bed in the evening like wishing they wake up with different genitals. You know, that's not really something cis people do. Y'all say still cis though, so you all are cis. Guess I won't need to give away my gender change magical potion then. Too bad, I thought you could use it. But I see I'm not needed here, I'm just gonna leave. And then get slammed by these people. Like, literally, a lot of people... Like, I've heard a lot of trans people say that they actually kind of find the joy in transition. Because it's super hard, but it also... like a lot of them allowed to meet like other cool trans people and like have experiences that they otherwise wouldn't have. And I think a lot of trans people kind of end up appreciating their transition. But not gonna lie, a magical potion would be easier. Like, I wouldn't have turned it down, you know, so I'm glad I don't need it anymore. But I think if you actually had it, you would be ran over by trans people, because they're all trying to get it, you know? Anyways, that was all the memes I have for today, and cute comics. And kind of memes pointing a little fun at trans people, but in a wholesome way, actually. You know, but anyways, I wish you all happy questioning, if you still are, or a smooth transition, if that's what you're going for. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the memes, I hope you're hydrated. If not, maybe drink something now, and I'll be back in a few days with my next video.